Good morning. Welcome to the Premium Public Video discussion for Friday, March 31st, 2023. We continue on with our end of the week Premium Public Video discussion. And the reason why I'm doing it this week is that we are keeping an eye on some thunderstorms. And I wanted to show you something that I typically show a lot of the premium members daily is why something may not happen, not just the worst case scenario that you might see floating around on the internet. Comes very handy in the winter and especially in the spring. So currently, let's talk about the conditions right now. We have high pressure and control, light and variable winds, clear skies and scattered cloud cover. Temperatures have fallen off pretty significantly in the lower to mid 20s over the northern interior, upper 20s to lower 30s in your suburbs, and mid to upper 30s in your urban areas. We're going to be a bit warmer today. That's certainly some good news as high pressure passes over the region and now is pushing off the coast. So that's going to allow more of a southerly wind start to take hold. This warm front will be approaching, but precipitation will hold off. And the reason why is because we still have quite a bit of dry air here. So you'll see an increase in cloud cover throughout the day. As you can see in the infrared satellite picture, those clouds are rolling towards us and heading towards our neck of the woods. Let's refresh this just for a second. You can see, again, the clouds are marching their way in, so look for increasing clouds today. But I think the precipitation is going to hold off until later in the evening, say after 10 p.m. for most of the area. Now, on the water vapor satellite picture, you can see a pretty vigorous shortwave here. And there's no doubt that this setup here is prime for some impressive severe weather over the upper Midwest and portions of the mid-Mississippi River Valley. Heading into the Ohio River Valley, you have plenty of moisture, you have divergence in diffluence, you have a nice little jet streak showing up right here. So certainly a scenario here that is prime for severe weather. But what about for our neck of the woods? Well, sometimes the smallest details matter the most. Now, when you're taking a look at the model guidance, you see this pretty vigorous upper level low here in the plains. And to the east of this upper level low, you have a lot of divergence and diffluence, strong lifting here. So you have all the ingredients all set up. By the time you get to tomorrow, this upper level low rapidly weakens. And by Saturday afternoon, it is an open, positively tilted trough. So we have a steadily weakening upper level system heading towards the region. And you have pretty strong divergence and diffluence here over western and central Pennsylvania, western New York. You have a jet streak here that is trying to develop right around western Pennsylvania. So you have some speed shear. You have some vertical wind shear as well. You have, with this orientation of the upper level winds and mid-level winds, a slow moving cold front and different pieces of the cold front moving through. And you can see that very nicely here in the precipitable water values. Notice throughout much of the early morning hours into the mid-morning hours on Saturday, you have plenty of moisture. But then that crashes. That's a prefrontal trough. So what that will do is that it will set up waves of showers and thunderstorms in the morning, set up a break sometime in the afternoon, and then your cold front moves through in the evening with that last surge. And that's driven more by your cold air transport. And you can also see that pretty nicely here when you take a look at the Cape here. It's really not all that impressive around the northern mid-Atlantic. You might get a burst around 1,000 joules per kilogram, which would support the development of some strong thunderstorms. But notice our strongest jet streak here around the region at 850 millibars is off the coast. And by the time we get to the peak period of instability in the atmosphere, it's relatively weak. And then your stronger jet streak is associated with the cold front, but by that point, the instability is much weaker. So when you combine these factors together, what you get is a scenario where you get waves of showers and thunderstorms in the morning, and then you get one solid line moving through Pennsylvania, but weakens as it heads towards the Delaware River Valley. And that's showing up pretty nicely here in the European guidance, it shows up nice in the GFS guidance. Again, there's your waves of showers and thunderstorms. And then you get a little bit of a break, and then there's your line with the cold front marching its way through. And then Sunday, it's pretty quiet and a little bit chillier. But we also want to take a look at some mesoscale data. Now, the HRR is still a little bit too far out, but the NAM is right where we want it to be as far as the time period for this. So it's right in the ballpark where it performs usually pretty well, especially when dealing with thunderstorms. And you can see for this evening, it remains relatively dry. You could see an isolated shower here and there. But we really see the showers and thunderstorms break out after 10 p.m. And again, these thunderstorms are relatively weak, but they'll produce a little bit of rumble of thunder, some heavier downpours, but nothing severe. And you can see on through the morning hours, you see those waves moving through, so definitely be prepared for some heavier downpours. And that will continue on into noon. Now, by the mid to late afternoon, we get a little bit of a break. There it is again. Okay, there's your prefrontal trough. There's your cold front. So you can also call it a dry line, cold front. Kind of. It's not the textbook, but you kind of get the idea here. You can also see it pretty nicely here. Let's see if I could pull up the 850 millibar temperatures. Probably a good idea if I set it up in the beginning, but here we are. Okay, perfect. So here we have, and we'll zoom in a little bit, the 850 millibar temperature Saturday morning, plenty of warm air. Saturday afternoon, that warm air still here. You notice we're not really seeing much in the way of cold air transport, but you got that dry air that has swung through. And your true cold air transport really doesn't reach until the evening with the actual cold front. So you could definitely see that there is a case to be made that we have a prefrontal trough that drops down the moisture and then the actual cold front that swings through. And that's essentially what we're seeing here with our precipitable water values. So what that translates to is this cold front. It gets waves of showers and thunderstorms to break in the late afternoon. So you Yankee fans going to that game at 4 o'clock on Saturday. It looks like there could be enough of a break to support the game to be played, but still be prepared for some showers and thunderstorms. And then here comes our secondary line. Again, it has enough enhancement, enough instability in the atmosphere for central PA to see possibly a few severe thunderstorms, possibly a nice little Boa line right here. We'll have to watch to see where the strongest cells set up, because remember, with strong rising, you also have sinking air. So this line might be more segmented than what's being shown here. But you can see the result as it's moving into a more stable atmosphere with vertical wind shear not nearly as strong. It rapidly collapses. And so what I'm expecting is for severe thunderstorms to be a threat, possibly for the extreme western portions of the Poconos. But then as this line approaches, we'll weaken to strong thunderstorms, probably get some alerts for strong thunderstorm outbreaks, but not for severe thunderstorms as this swings on through and exits. So let's dive into this forecast. For today, increasing cloud cover, look for a nice stiff southerly wind, let's zoom in here, around 10 to 20 miles per hour with temperatures rising into the lower to mid 50s for highs. Now, the low temperatures for tomorrow basically either stay still or start to rise into the lower to mid 50s, continuing as the warm air invades and showers begin to develop around the region. For tomorrow afternoon, we got waves of showers and thunderstorms, probably a break sometime in the mid to late afternoon, followed by the final line in the evening. Look for temperatures to range from the lower to mid 60s on the immediate coast, mid to upper 60s over the interior, and upper 60s to possibly a few mid 70s in the Delaware River Valley, basically the I-95 corridor. We'll watch to see that warm air surge northward, especially if we get that break and we get a little bit of sunshine. Those temperatures are going to jump. Now on Sunday, all this mess clears out and we start to see clearing skies with high pressure and control. Low temperatures will range from the upper 20s to lower 30s over the northern interior, mid to upper 30s in your suburbs, upper 30s to lower 40s in your urban areas. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 40s over the northern interior, mid to upper 40s along the coast. On Monday, high pressure exits with scattered cloud cover. Look for low temperatures in the lower to mid 30s. High temperatures will range from the mid to upper 50s on the immediate coast, especially around Long Island, upper 50s to lower 60s over the interior, and lower to mid 60s in the Delaware River Valley. On Tuesday, a frontal boundary will stall over the region, a semi-backdoor cold front. You're going to have some influences from the Canadian Maritimes, but you also have high pressure pressing south from the Canadian Plains and the Hudson River, the Hudson Bay, should I say. So it's not a true backdoor cold front, but it has some elements because you're having some maritime air building in. So variable cloud cover, isolated to widely scattered showers. It's kind of a raw day. Look for low temperatures in the mid 40s. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 60s throughout the region. We'll have to watch to see how far this front basically stalls out, because there's a chance if it stalls to the north of Philadelphia that we could actually see some lower 70s mixed in there. So we'll keep an eye on that. On Wednesday, the cold front will rapidly approach. Now, there's some question on the timing of this cold front, whether it's in the afternoon or towards the evening. Either way, we'll be dealing with scattered showers and thunderstorms, but the question really comes down to how warm will it get out ahead of the cold front. Look for low temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s. High temperatures will range from the upper 50s to lower 60s on Long Island, lower to mid 60s on the rest of the coast, mid to upper 60s away from the coast. And again, if that cold front's a little bit later, we could actually see some lower 70s mixed in there as well. On Thursday, high pressure will build in with scattered cloud cover expected. Look for low temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 40s over the higher elevations, upper 40s to lower 50s for the rest of the interior, and mid to upper 50s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 50s over the northern interior, upper 50s to lower 60s along the coast. And on Friday, high pressure will be in complete control with beautiful weather conditions expected. Look for low temperatures in the mid to upper 20s over the northern interior, lower to mid 30s along the coast, mid to upper 30s in your urban areas, and high temperatures will range from the lower to mid 50s along the coast, mid to upper 50s over the interior, and upper 50s to lower 60s in the Delaware River Valley. That is your forecast discussion for today. Have a wonderful day and a great weekend, and as always, stay safe out there.